Okay, so hello everyone. My name is David, and today's Coffee Talk episode number 2 is going to be about the topic on how to transform fear into stamina, or how to transform fear into opportunities. And the guest speakers for today's Coffee Talk are going to be Tarnjit and Sannu from StepOut. StepOut is a wellness and fitness startup based in Helsinki, and they are going to be the ones explaining us their entrepreneurial journey and what makes them thrive on a daily basis, despite having to fear risks and other things that come with the entrepreneurial journey. So hello, Tannu and Saini.
Hello, David.
Hi, David.
So what would you say to anyone who wants to go into the entrepreneurial journey, or anyone who wants to build a career in business? What would you say that is the best thing to not allow fear to prevent you from taking the decisions you want to take?
Well, I mean, if you're stepping into the entrepreneurial journey, that's when you already decide that it couldn't be, it is never the fear that can stop you, because you already decided that you're going to jump into something that not everyone does. And if you had the guts to, that's probably you're already starting to defeat all the fears that you have had.
And yeah, especially if you have had the guts to come up with a business idea, you should know that nobody knows your business better than you. You shouldn't be taking things to your heart or anything. Just be confident, because if you reflect confidence, you will attract good things. And that is for sure. It's not easy, but it's definitely a mind game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And what would you say that is right now your perception of risk or fear, now that you have been working as entrepreneurs for a couple of years, you have your own company, and you are doing really great. So what would you say that kind of concept has evolved in?
Yeah, for entrepreneurs, it's usually, suggested or recommended that you should have, you should consider having measurable risk. But guess what? When you actually are there and you are doing things, there's nothing called measurable risk. Risk is a risk. And probably once you get into things, you really do risk a lot. And it's not measurable because you don't know what the results are going to be. I mean, of course you can estimate, but it's just about the execution of your actions. Like if you do it right, maybe they bring in like the best results. But if something goes wrong, the risk could be that it is the end of something, and then you have to start all new.
Yeah, and what would you be scared of? First thing, it would be that maybe your business doesn't work. But for me, what I think is that there's no failure in entrepreneurship. Like the business won't work, it's fine, it's normal. You are still not a failure. You did not fail. You succeed because you were able to identify first that, okay, this is not working. You accept it and you're moving on. That is your number one success. And after that, through the whole process, you've learned a lot. You have developed as a person and things have changed for you. You will avoid making those mistakes again in the future. That's another success. So it's all about how you learn and how you transform those learnings into your success. It's just the mindset, the perspective, really. So yeah. Nothing can go really wrong in your life, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, how do you actually perceive rejection these days? Because obviously as entrepreneurs, you need to get through rounds of funding, you need to partner with people. How do you actually not allow that rejection to really impact how you do your daily operations?
Well, we're immune now.
Rejection is it's an everyday thing. But then the sooner you get to learn that it's a no, the sooner you move to the next step. Because if you keep holding on to the part where you actually get rejected and keep moving around that, you won't progress. So it's always good to get a no and move on to the next step.
Yeah.
And that's something that has allowed us to, come so far, because every other time there's a no, there's a new solution, then we really do know that there has to be another way, or we have to figure out another way.
You have to figure out another way. You just like, here's a meeting, you have heard a rejection, and no, turn the laptop off, move to your co-founder or the next person who's sitting right next to you and just ask, okay, what next? Just keep thinking ahead instead of thinking what happened wrong and like, nagging about it, complaining about it. Just, okay, fine, it happened. Let's move on. Something new is waiting for you all the time.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, you like your daily goals are to make your business grow. As I assume that is like your baby, but also to really go scaling, right? Different objectives and goals that you have. And what makes you to actually like wake up every day super excited, even if things are not going well, and to really go eat, the world basically?
Well, up excited every day. It's about getting up in the morning and just telling yourselves that even if things are not well, you have to do something that they go well next. I mean, it's something about entrepreneurship that you cannot control everything at the same point. So and there's no point of controlling everything because things will happen the way they are meant to happen. But then you can put in the effort every morning and kind of show up to the things that you do. And probably one day this showing up every day will lead to something that's super good.
Also, another thing that a lot of entrepreneurs will relate to the same thing. And sometimes when you look at somebody who's really successful as a founder, you might think that, oh, why can't I be that person? But remember, that person has also their own struggles that they are just not expressing to the world. And it's the same with every single founder, I believe. Yeah. Not everyone is excited all the time or like every single morning, yeah, my business is going well and shit. But no, it's not like that. And I don't mean to scare or something, but that's the reality. You just have to be really ready for everything.
Yeah, especially for early stage businesses, it's a rough journey. It's a rough tide altogether. And you cannot expect things to just accelerate like this. So it takes time, it takes effort, and it takes a lot of grudge from yourselves as well. You have to put yourselves out there. You have to face a lot of things, and you have to have the courage to still keep going after everything.
Yeah, but don't forget to celebrate your mini achievements. It could be something really small, but talk to your team, feel good about it because it's your hard work that got you there. So.
And well, now I would like to ask something, I guess, that everyone is expecting. How did you manage to not get in a really bad situation when Corona hit? And you had to like create a completely different business model that could adapt to a live version of your services rather than like face-to-face one. Like how was finding out that the world is going through a pandemic? What are we going to do?
Well, in this case, we have been saying, we have really been vocal about it, that it's been a boon in a sense that that was the time we figured out that we were not just limited to Finland. We could go global. If we are virtual, we have the possibility to approach a bigger audience and get to like a diverse user and trainer base. And at that point, of course, when it hit that, hey, there's not going to be any more studio sessions, or you cannot have the trainers at the studios, it did hit us for some time. But then the way we wrapped it up and kind of got to this point that we were going virtual, that was the point that it was all good, that now it's something that we're going to stick to.
Yeah, even though it hit like crazy, but honestly, I was actually really excited when we decided that we're going virtual. Inside, I was like low-key very excited because there are a lot of opportunities right there as well, which we might not have thought of when we were doing things differently pre-corona. So there's always something good in every situation, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. Someone is asking, what if I already committed a lot to the business idea, but I don't feel like it's fulfilling or interesting to me anymore? Do I keep going or do I abandon it? What would you say?
If you have lost the interest, you have lost the passion, there's no point of rushing, after something that you don't want to do. If you lack the passion and you're just doing it for the heck of it, there's no point doing it.
Just don't drain yourself.
Yeah.
And think about how you can use that, the thing that you have created or the things that you have learned from there in doing something that you love.
Yeah. And it is eventually going to become a struggle if you go after something that you're already tired of. And you won't be as productive, you won't be getting the results that you actually could if you're passionate about something, and you probably won't even be celebrating the little achievements that you have, even if you're doing good things, because you're not passionate about it. So probably if you know that you're done with something, it's always good to move on to the next step. Let go.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if anyone watching knows, but Tannu, you are a TED speaker as well. So what decision did you make to actually get on the stage and share your ideas, or give yourself permission, right, to have a voice? Because many times we neglect ourselves and we think that if we are not well known or we don't have X amount of followers, we don't really have kind of the privilege to say something or to speak our mind. So what was your position on that, and why did you actually say, yeah, I can do this?
Yeah. So what I think is, you do not have to be an influencer to be a speaker, and you do not have to be an influencer to be sharing your ideas. Probably even if there are 2 or 3 people who actually get positively impacted because of what you said or what you shared, it's a good thing. And me deciding to get to TEDx, I actually had this on my vision board for one day, but it just came in so quickly, and Sanni did push me that go for it now. Of course, I had this in mind that it was just too early, maybe I should, maybe I shouldn't. But then I also had the opportunity to talk about an inexperienced entrepreneur. I'm still an inexperienced entrepreneur. I'm not carrying 10 years of experience doing what I'm doing. And there are so many other people and so many other minds out there who are sailing in the same boat. And if there's someone who can talk about it, I mean, that is a good thing. And I believe if I took the charge to talk about the real experiences of an inexperienced entrepreneur, maybe it helps some people. Maybe it helped them know that we are not the only ones. Everyone is on the same page.
Mm-hmm. Also, regarding this, that you mentioned that there are lots of people on the same boat, I would say that for me, entrepreneurs have the perfect balance of mindset, drive, and stamina or willingness to do things. And I think that they are some of the most creative people on society, because it's not just creating something, is actually evolving that creation and allowing yourself to thrive even when things are not going well, or when you have competitors, right? You need to find what they're doing so that you can scale your business opportunities as well. And for example, I have been participating in different incubators and pre-accelerators. I want to create my own business. And sometimes I still have that fear concept of what if it doesn't work at first. But then I understand, and I really tell myself that I really want to do this. And if I don't do it, time will pass, even if I don't do it. And then I will always reject, I will always feel bad for not doing that when I could have done it, because you never know how it will work. And I always say that risk is the architect of failure and success. You never know unless you take a risk. And it's basically uncertainty, right? Of events that you cannot control. Yeah. So do you really think that the fear factor ever goes away, even if you have 20 years of experience as an entrepreneur and you have been super successful? Or you think that it's just waiting at the other side of the door?
I like how you explain everything really well, though.
It never is going to be the case that you're not scared. It never is going to be the case that you are all in a situation or in a position where you're everything is fine now, nothing's gonna go wrong. Because as you grow, as you build, that is the point where you'll also be in this mindset, what if I lose everything I have built up and until this point? If you're in the early stages, you still have this opportunity to kind of like build and redo things. But what if you get to know after 5 years that you have built this big business and there's a great revenue, and something like COVID again happens to say, and what if everything just comes to a halt? What are you going to do? So there's never this point where you will not feel that everything's good. It's just you have to have the kind of mindset for growth and kind of put yourselves out there and be more vulnerable in that sense. It's okay if things go wrong. It's okay if you don't get what you actually aimed for. There is the right time for everything. It might just take some time, but it will eventually pay off.
And the fear is just not going to ever leave you. It's just how you react to it, how you cope with it. So you change as a person, things won't. It's only how you, again, I'm just reading the same thing. It's all about the mindset.
And also what you said about like when Corona hit, that you found that there was like an international audience, an opportunity to scale your business. I also think that Corona has been a wake-up call in all different like ways. And I think that there are going to be lots of entrepreneurs that are really going to see those problems that maybe we did not perceive in the past or were kind of hidden, but right now they are going to the surface as this still goes on. And I think Corona also offers kind of a new generation of entrepreneurs made in COVID, kind of a thing. So I think like explaining that you saw opportunity, even if this happened, it's a really great thing. And also, I'm really interested in knowing what your future endeavors are. Do you want to be serial entrepreneurs? Do you want to venture in other projects? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, we are always open to new things. We have plans. We already are working on those plans. But StepOut is our first baby, to say. And probably we have this vision for StepOut. Of course, I say it all the time that any entrepreneur who gets started with a startup, they want it to be a unicorn at some point, and so do we. But at the same time, we really want StepOut to create a community and an impact in when it comes to solo entrepreneurs or solo trainers. Right now, we are working with people who are in fitness, recreation, and wellness. But maybe there's a time that we have more, other areas of expertise coming in from StepOut. Because for us, it's always about empowering people who are starting on their journeys as single business owners.
And just creating more opportunities for people from different backgrounds. If they are talented, they should have a platform, no matter where they come from. And of course, if we want this thing to be implemented for ourselves as people, that we get accepted in, for example, the startup ecosystem or anything, we would want to do that for others as well. So that's the point of StepOut, basically.
Yeah, interesting. And even if you're now based in Finland, are you planning maybe in the future to move to another country, maybe Silicon Valley? Because that's like interesting as well.
I mean, you never know. So when you're scaling, it's always about the opportunities you have in different markets. And well, when it comes to the US, we all know that any startup has the vision to get there, and the opportunities that we have, in the Silicon Valley are huge. But then at the same time, there's a huge competition, so probably at this point, it's just that we really do want to conquer Europe and then get to Southeast Asia, and then later on
Yeah,
the Silicon Valley is not yet prioritized in a way like that.
because I think there's no point of going crazy that, oh, we need to go to America because that's the cool thing to do. We just have to figure out, is there a need? Like, be smart about the selection rather than just going with the hurdle.
Yeah.
And what backlashes have you have as female entrepreneurs? Because I know that being a female entrepreneur in the game can be tricky many times. And obviously you are young, you are female as well. So maybe sometimes like investors cannot take you seriously because of your age, I would say. So how has that been? And how is it still
not
going?
Too cool. Not too cool in this sense. I mean, more than the age, it's about us being female entrepreneurs. There's always this underlying bias, like all the time, not just about investments, but even in general. Two female co-founders leading a startup with no other C-level male people on board. So it really does affect in a way, but then, not all the investors or not all the advisors have the same approach towards everything. So we have really met these people who believe in what we are doing, and with these mindsets that any female founder can deliver much more than a male founder. So
yeah, but I think it was a good thing that we felt we experienced those backlashes and biases in the very beginning already, so that at this point we don't care at all. Honestly, when I go to a meeting, I don't think about it. Okay, I'm a female person. There's like a lot of other male people. They might dominate. I don't think about that. If that happens, it happens. I can't control it. I'll just give my best, and so will she, and we just go our ways. It's just as simple as that. There's no point of, I think. I mean, yes, we should speak about it. We should try and bring a change, but there's no point of sitting at home and feeling bad about it.
Yeah, bringing the change via your actions is much better because it will speak louder than you speaking about your struggles, like just in general.
Mm-hmm. And going into the money side of the business, how did you lose the fear of asking for money? Because I think that many times people don't think their idea is worth, or they have a hard time going to ask money for something because it's not something that they teach us in a school, right? It's not in our culture to ask for it. So how did you actually surpass that barrier and say, okay, yeah, we will do it?
Yeah, well, in this case, it's not just about asking for the money, because asking for the money is easier. The harder part comes next. How are you going to deal with that money, and how are you going to deliver the expectations that the people who gave you the money? It could be investors, it could be even your own family. Whoever gives in the investment for your business idea, you would really want to kind of stand up to the expectations. And asking for the money it's not hard when it comes down to you having a self-belief that this idea is worth it. It will generate the results. You need to have a perfect plan in place. But there's nothing called a perfect plan when you are an entrepreneur, but you have to be sure about things working out, while also backing it up with proper traction or proper calculations for the future. So always thinking about the coming 2 or 3 years, how are you gonna get the return?
And yeah, asking for money, it's a part of the process, I think. And you shouldn't feel ashamed, because it's business. Business is money, and it's not about us only. If you are investing, you're also benefiting. It's about us. Talk about, let's invest and let's build together.
Yeah.
Rather than give us the money and let me do this.
Yeah.
And to end this amazing life, what suggestions or kind of mentoring advice would you give to anyone who is fearful of venturing into entrepreneurship, hatching from the entrepreneurial egg and going into the into the crazy sea, right? That is full of sharks, which is like normally what everyone tells you, that you are the little fish and that you have bigger stuff like coming to you. So what advice would you give to someone who really wants to go there and is kind of not sure yet?
I think first and foremost, confidence. Just have confidence in yourself and the business idea, because again, nobody knows your business better than you. And just, you're gonna hear a lot of feedback, criticism, and good things as well. But know that it's you who are going to make the decisions for yourself. Don't let anybody else do that for you. Don't give that power to anyone else, and you will be totally fine. There's nothing to fear about, I think. And there are good people as well in the field.
Yeah. You will meet a lot of people on the way, and probably there's nothing to be scared about. It's all about having the guts to go and do something out there. And then it's like, you never know, when your next, I think this is coming from my TEDx talk, but you never know when your next failure brings in your first fortune.
That's my favorite line.
So keep trying, and probably don't think about giving up, because there will always be ways. There will be days when things will not go the way you want them to go. There will always be struggles.
Yeah.
Startup life doesn't come like a bed of roses. It's a bed of thorns, and you actually adapt to that bed.
Yeah, just talk to yourself and make sure you have some amazing co-founders next to you who can basically help you come out of that negative zone, pull you out.
Yeah.
And you'll be good.
Great. So thank you so much for this inspiring live. And yeah, guys, if you want to check out their startup, is StepOut in Instagram, Let's Step Out. And they have really amazing sessions and an upcoming masterclass. So yeah, definitely I would advise everyone to go there. They are live sessions and you pay a monthly subscription. So yeah, it's really great. And again, thank you so much, girls. It's been amazing. And yeah, and it's good to have you in other talks in the future as well. So just let us know if we can help with anything. And yeah, always glad.
That's amazing. Always a good time with Laura AS.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.